Hi, I just got back from my honeymoon. I wanted to share this. I actually wanted to share this last week, but I really practiced my boundaries in, being on vacation and not working. So that was good. But over our vacation, Kyle and I had an experience that I really wanted to talk about because it really stood out to me as far as sales go. One thing, if any of you guys who are in here have ever had this experience, please comment and let me know. Or if you guys have gone through a spiel, I think my my past client Trent was telling me about how he sat through a presentation on I think a timeshare or something. And so while Kyle and I were away, we went to a presentation on a vacation club, and it sounded super cool, blah blah blah, and what was really interesting to me is I kind of love sitting back and trying to take a step out of the situation and kind of just observe sales situations and how I would feel if I were the salesperson or if I were the potential customer. Just kind of take note on how I feel, what I liked, what I didn't like. And I think that really helped to make me a better salesperson, but also just kind of teach and share about different things that I get out of that situation. I thought this was so interesting, right? We were taken to breakfast by one of the salespeople, and then we went in to do watch the presentation and everything, and they were being so nice, right? And just talking to us a bunch, we're so happy you're here, blah blah blah, and super friendly. And there were two salespeople that came to talk to us, and we were talking about the offer, and then we got down to talking about the pricing, and it was a lot of money. I'll just go ahead and say that I'm trying to work on my own mindset and stop using the words expensive or cheap and use words lower cost and higher cost, because I think that there can be a lot of other things attached to using the words expensive and cheap. However, this was a really expensive offer in my mind, and that's based on my own priorities, right? And the way that I use my own money. And so I was just sitting back and watching them talk to Kyle about the offer, and seeing how he was responding, seeing what they were saying. And the one salesperson who was there was pulling out every single trick in the book in regards to talking about price. And I just I watched her do it, and I was I know every single thing that she's doing, and good for her, props to her. She obviously is really good at this, and that's great, because I always talk about in this group, sales to me is the ability to explore an offer together with another person to see if it makes sense to them. And you do that through clear communication and a whole bunch of other stuff. And so what ended up happening, and this is a thing that I wanted to share in this group, and please comment below and let me know if this is something that resonates with you. She was doing A+ job as a salesperson, I think, and watched it all happen. And Kyle wanted to sign up, so I was cool, let's go for it. And we did, and then we went to cancel a couple of days later. Everybody was being all nicey, oh, we'll get you presents, blah blah blah. So we were cool, who doesn't love free stuff, free gifts? And then we went to cancel, and it was all of the air was deflated out of the whole situation. The two salespeople that we had a conversation with, they would not speak with us. Of course, they wanted to know why we wanted to cancel, and we shared it with them, and they were pissed. You could tell so much. I'm definitely not gonna sit here and pretend that I've never had that same kind of reaction myself when a client has canceled on me, or what have you, whenever something didn't go the way I wanted it to in a sales situation. But just the way that I felt as a potential customer upon canceling made me feel like I would 100% never ever purchase from them again. You could tell that they were extremely upset. They stopped talking to us. They never like gave us this thing that, you know, they said they would give us, which is fine. Like, it was expected. It wasn't like, you know, Kyle and I were extreme surprised, but it really hit me that like the sales process doesn't end with when you make the sale, right? Like we've talked about in this group that, you know, the sales process continues once you have like sold an evaluation, once you've sold a plan of care. As long as you are working with somebody, you are still selling them. Like you're selling them on showing up at their next appointment, right? It's not necessarily just monetary sales. It's not going to be like the, you know, the first sale in that relationship, but like as long as you're working with somebody, you're continuing to sell them on whatever it is, on showing up, on doing their HEP, following instructions. And even like after you finish working with them, if they have another issue down the line, like you're still selling, you're still communicating and seeing what kind of offer would make the most sense for this person in their current state based on what their goals are. And then this situation last week made me realize that like the sales cycle, I suppose, it not like now it like branches, because, you know, not only does it continue if, you know, you like are going to work with somebody, it continues if you're not going to work with somebody. And I never, like, it makes sense, but I never really thought about it before. I guess like another example could be like I had an evaluation today, mobile, where I went and drove to the patient's home and we did an eval. And then like at the end of the appointment, he was talking about how, you know, like he really is interested in figuring out how out of network reimbursement works, because he wants to work with me, but because of a couple of expenses he's had in the past month, he's, you know, lower on cash and like doesn't really know if he can afford to pay for services right now, which I get. Here's what I'm going to do. While I was there at the evaluation, talked through a few different scenarios on how things could shake out after, you know, he and I get some more information from his insurance company. But like, I'm going to help him. You know, I told him that you know, of course I'm going to do his notes, write up his HEP. I'm also going to get some research for him. I'm sending him post-op protocols so that he can be educated on what it is that he is, you know, going through right now. And whether we work together or not, I will help him find somebody to help him. That's the way that like I believe sales. And, you know, I haven't spoken with everybody here in this group, but I hope that if we have spoken, you know, you feel like you were helped. You know, not everybody is going to jive with everybody, and that's okay, you know, but I hope that you have felt helped and supported, even though, you know, like I sell coaching and marketing services, I sell physical therapy services. Like, even though I sell stuff, I hope that it still comes across. I want to help, even if, like, I think I had a call with somebody tomorrow, and I believe she canceled. Like, I'm kind of bummed. I thought that we clicked. You know, it could be for any number of reasons. And just like this whole experience Kyle and I had last week, we could have been canceling what we purchased from this company for any number of reasons, but it's not personal. Like, it's nothing against the company. You were not like the right fit for the offer, and that's okay. And like, even though it stinks sometimes, especially if you are like, you know, going to work with a patient, you eval a patient, and you feel like things are like 100% good to go. If they do not continue with you, it is not necessarily because you did something wrong. It is not necessarily because they didn't like you. I mean, that does happen, but you know, they could just be canceling. And what the main thing that I want you to get out of this video is, just because somebody cancels, they stop coming, they tell you they can't afford to work with you, that's not where, like, I don't know if this is the right word, but like, that's not where like your obligation as a salesperson. And like, I would highly encourage continuing the sales process of being, I totally get it. You know, I'm bummed that we're not going to be working together. I say that to people all the time. People I've enjoyed talking to. I'm bummed that we're not going to be working together, but I understand. You know, we aren't going to be moving forward, but, you know, here are a few talked about. Here are some resources. Let me know if you want me to get you in touch with somebody else, and let me know if anything changes in the future. And that is the way that, like, I personally believe sales should be done. And I just wanted to share with you that, you know, even though I didn't really really like think about it before, I can totally see after that experience of being like completely shut out, you know, why even if somebody does not work with you, you still have to finish, I guess, the sales cycle positive way, because you never know how that is going to impact down the line. You know, please comment below, let me know what you think, and we will talk soon. Now I just forgot how to turn the video off.